And before I start, I'd just like to make the acknowledgement to country. We respect and honour Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islanders, past, present and future. We acknowledge the stories, traditions and living cultures of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people on this land and commit to building a brighter future together. I'd also like to make a diversity statement on behalf of Rotary. At Rotary, we value diversity and celebrate the contributions of people of all backgrounds across age, ethnicity, race, colour, disability, learning style, religion, faith, socio-economic status, culture, marital status, language spoken, sexual orientation and gender equity, as well as differences in thoughts, values and beliefs. Thank you. All right. Now,
just before you start, Mark, Harry, could you mute yourself, because we're seeing you larger than life rather than Mark at the moment.
And there's only one person larger than life on this screen.
Now we've got to have Tony mute yourself as well.
Yep.
All right, District 9820, Governor Report for 2020-2021, Rotary International President Holger Kanak. Rotary opens opportunities. The Rotary year 2020-21 started in a very unique fashion. The state of Victoria was in full lockdown due to COVID-19 pandemic. Up to a week out, we were hoping that we could have a face-to-face changeover. But things were getting worse with the pandemic, so we changed to an online format. During the month of July, many clubs hold changeovers. This was no different. The difference was they were being done online. Our clubs were new to this style of meeting. Our clubs rose to the challenge. It was amazing to see how clubs adapted and how quickly they adapted. Things soon took a turn for the worse with the pandemic, and it became evident that we would be locked down for an extended period of time. My thoughts turned to how we can keep members engaged. How do we continue to do Rotary? How do members keep in contact with one another? And what can we do to keep people's spirits high? I embraced the challenge, used technology, engaged with others who have technology skills, and we set about helping clubs develop their online skills. I moved the district governor visits to online, adapted the delivery to be a more succinct message. Linda also presented her partner project via Zoom. Morticia the mosquito was a highlight. Ending malaria in Vanuatu was the project. Thank you clubs. Just over $13,000 was raised. What a fantastic effort during incredibly hard times. In August, I started a weekly fireside chat for the district. Unsure how this would pan out or how the format would work, I pushed ahead. It was amazing. People from across the district all embraced the opportunity to engage differently. The chat that went on in the background was fantastic. People communicating with people they had not seen for years. The feedback was extraordinary. Over the weeks, it became a place for people to share and laugh. We had the occasional speaker and we raised funds for projects. Clubs promoted speakers. It was perhaps one of the biggest highlights of my year. After a period of time, things began to look hopeful that we could get back to a normal life. However, things took another turn and now the district was divided. Some were in complete lockdown, some were open and able to meet, and some could work within the communities with restrictions, but at least they were doing things. During this time, it gave me an opportunity to focus on some of the district administration activities that needed to be done. For some time, we've been looking at the bullying and harassment policy, conflict resolution, and many other governance issues. Being in lockdown, having learnt the power of technology, the district leadership team embarked on a program of updating our policies and procedures. With the help of past District Governor Tim Moore and his governance teams, we addressed bullying and harassment, conflict resolution, district bylaws 1 to 8, an email policy, social media policy, partnerships with other organisations, code of practice for purchase orders, a statement of purpose, working with children's and volunteer declaration, and I must pay a special thank you to District Secretary Carol and District Protection Chair David Hanlon, who helped develop a very comprehensive process for documenting this. The Youth Protection Policy, a process for changing bank signatories, position descriptions for district leadership roles. These were developed under the guidance of the then District Governor nominee, Paul Mee, and a register of policies review and update. While I was in the role of District IT, I proposed that we looked at how we manage district email, document retention and general communication. We moved to the Office 365 platform. At the beginning of the Rotary year 2020-2021, everything was uploaded, including archived history, into the Office 365 platform. District Secretary Carol and I spent many hours developing a system that will carry us forward for many years to come. And as a result of my experience and skill set with Office 365, I was also able to introduce District 9800 and 9810 to the platform. We did many online training and development activities during the year. One of the most significant training sessions was with the governance team, which focused on fundraising and compliance. We covered not-for-profit governance principles, aligning government tasks between companies, clubs and districts. We read case studies. We did workshops. We studied the legislation and regulations, both federal and state. Early on in the pandemic, we created a YouTube channel. Our first video was uploaded in March. I saw this YouTube channel as a way of expanding our reach and open opportunities to do more. During the year, approximately 45 videos were uploaded. I made it a point, if we did something online that could expand our reach, we should record it and put it in our YouTube channel. A special thank you to Rob Cook, who created landing slides, cleaned up recordings and uploaded these. Also a special thank you to everyone who presented, ran and participated in our digital adventure. A big concern for the year was the running of AGMs. This caused much concern to many clubs. In 2019, at our AGM, District AGM, a motion was put forward to the district to amend our rules and bylaws to allow for a district AGM to be held online or hybrid style. Consumer Affairs had already made the provision available for incorporated bodies to do this. During COVID, Consumer Affairs also allowed any organisation to run their AGMs via online hotline technology. This enabled clubs to fulfil their legal obligations. In November, I was lucky enough to start to visit some clubs, regional only. Luckily, Linda and I were at our required place of residence in regional Victoria. We visited our first club in November, Leongatha. I can tell you it was amazing. I saw people in 3D, not 2D. Being in a room, listening to all the chatter, seeing people smile was breathtaking. Let me say, it was the best chicken I've ever eaten at a Rotary Club dinner. November and December was great. We did get out to some of the clubs and be actively involved with projects. I was able to visit the East Gippsland and see firsthand the devastation of the fires. It was during the visit to East Gippsland that I had one of my most humbling experiences. I was in the All Boss Bakery, just getting a coffee and a yummy cake to eat. The owner of the shop looked at me and said, "Oh, you're from Rotary. Thank you." I was puzzled. Why did she say thank you to me? I had done nothing. She wasn't thanking me. She was thanking Rotary, because as Rotarians, we made a difference to her community. In 2018, Linda came up with an idea for celebrating 100 years of Rotary in Australia. Soon after floating the idea, Linda and I were invited to be a part of the 100-year committee. It was during governor training that we introduced the idea to the Victorian governors. They were amazed and thought the idea was brilliant. After that, the Baton project took on a life of its own. It soon spread across 2 countries. But again, during lockdown, we thought, how can we launch the Baton project to clubs? Technology was the answer. We established a small studio, gathered a small team and launched the Baton. Melbourne, Sydney, Canberra were all connected, and we broadcast the event across Australia, New Zealand and several other countries. We were thrilled when the Governor-General, David Hurley, enthusiastically agreed to launch the project for us. To top off the event, we had Leo Sayer live at Government House singing. Australia Day. This comes around once a year. No surprise there. But this year it was looking a little bleak. Yes, we were out of lockdown. However, there were still lots of restrictions in place. Many clubs not knowing what or how they could celebrate Australia Day. In fact, across the country, not many things were happening at all. The federal government's Australia Day committee approached Rotary in Sydney and requested to see if Rotary could help with celebrations across our great country. District Governor Philip Archer from District 9800, known for making things happen, sprang into action. He formed a small team and off we went. Australia Day Committee was offering up to $1.5 million to spread across the Australian communities, and for the first time ever allowing an organisation to officially co-brand the event. The theme for the year was Reflect, Respect, Celebrate. We created super clusters. We put our assistant governors in charge and just let them go. A stunning achievement. We had less than 5 weeks to pull off this wonderful event. Our assistant governor and clubs rose to the occasion. COVID-safe events happened everywhere. Where councils put conditions in place to make things difficult, our clubs came up with another solution. What did Rotary do? Rotary showed yet again, we are people of action. We brought our communities together and we poured approximately $1.2 million back into our hurting communities. But we didn't stop there. A part of the proposal was to deliver an Australian-wide broadcast. That was my part of the brief. Luckily, where I work, Nossal High School, we had the perfect environment to create a studio and seat up to 200 people. We pulled together a team of experts and pulled off an incredible 2-hour streamed production across Australia. We supported 4 major Australian projects: End Trachoma, Safe Families, Australian Rotary Health and Give Every Child a Future. To top off the day for the cast, crew and audience, we held a good old Aussie barbecue for 180 people in all. Thanks goes to the Rotary Club of Berwick. A district governor needs to deliver a conference, as all governors do. We started planning early. A joint district conference was decided upon. We were going cruising. Not a small cruise ship, but a large one. 1,200 people in total. Planning was significant and moving along. Then COVID came. But we continued to push ahead with planning, but COVID was becoming more and more of a threat. After a couple of months, it became evident that COVID was more serious than first thought. We had to cancel the cruise. We had to stop everything. We were still determined to have a joint conference. We planned Plan A, Plan B, Plan C, Plan D. Every time we thought we had something that could work, something else happened. Another lockdown, venue rule changes, something just got in the way. 4 weeks out, we finally had a view of what might be. Planning began in earnest. We pulled together the technology team again. For the first time, all 5 Victorian districts came together and we produced an online district conference. Again, I was able to make use of the Nossal facilities and we produced 2-hour sessions that were streamed across the state. We streamed to an audience of approximately 2,500 people. On the Saturday afternoon, we had a small single district face-to-face component. Numbers were limited, no dancing allowed, distancing requirements, food handling conditions, all making delivery a challenge. A small team led by Linda Morris made it happen. We produced a conference in 4 weeks. What an effort. I am so proud of the team. Linda Morris, John Cartledge, Jane and Tim Moore, Jim Young, Linda Humphries and the Rotary Club of Mount Eliza. It could not have happened if not for your fantastic work under incredibly difficult and challenging conditions. In between shutdowns and ever-changing conditions, we still did do extraordinary things. Another highlight was holding our first Interact conference for many years. Josie Wilson and her team managed to present a small conference during most uncertain times. 4 schools were represented. The young people were amazing. They did group work, breakout work and whole group sessions. Each school presented to the largest group, consisting of students, parents, friends and sponsors. Outstanding. The young people proved that they do want to give back. They will be the future. They already are people of action. It was very pleasing to see that the vast majority of clubs across the district using technology and where and when possible, engaging in community activities. I must make special mention to President Sue Voss of Mount Eliza, who had a vision of starting the first satellite club in our district. With determination and a will for not letting COVID derail her vision, Sue set about making this happen. On the 50th anniversary of the Rotary Club of Mount Eliza, our district's first satellite club was started. Rotary Satellite Club of Mount Eliza, Mornington Peninsula. In total, 3 clubs were started during the year, 2 satellite clubs and a new Interact club. We didn't let COVID stand in the way of growing Rotary. From very early in the year, it became obvious to me that the club's abilities to fundraise would be challenging. I realised that foundation would potentially suffer. Why was this important to me? Well, foundation is our charity of choice. Foundation is where we make a difference to those around us. We contribute to specific foundation programs. In 3 years, a portion of that is returned to our district in the form of district designated funds. It is these funds that enable you to make a difference to those in your community. I am proud that during 2020-2021, we had an 8% increase on the previous year. But we can do better. We need to continue to increase our giving to foundation so we can increase our impact and expand our reach in our local communities. The Rotary year 2020-2021, Rotary International President Holger Knack, District Governor 9820 Mark Humphries, Rotary Opens Opportunities, was a very different Rotary year. It was filled with a very different, challenging, changing environment. We train for 3 years. We speak with our peers. We learn from our past. We plan and develop ideas for the year ahead. 2020-2021 proved that you need to be agile and think outside the box. We did amazing things throughout the year under trying, ever-changing conditions. Overall, I think the one thing that stands out for me the most is how every club, every Rotarian adapted. We kept in contact with each other. We helped each other in new and different ways. We supported those that needed help. We worked through problems that we could have never imagined. We went online. We did club meetings, training, AGMs, social gatherings, quiz nights, online auctions, Friday night music, progressive dinners. We adapted. One question I asked clubs during my governor's visits was, what would Rotary look like if it wasn't in your community? I think the answer is simple. Our communities would be suffering more. We showed we care. We showed that even during a pandemic, we are people of action. When an opportunity is presented, we grab it with both hands. Rotarians are truly inspirational people. Remember, Rotary opens opportunities. We must grasp these opportunities to make a difference. Thank you everyone for the opportunity of guiding and supporting our clubs and Rotarians through perhaps one of the most challenging years for many years. It is a humbling experience to be a district governor. I encourage you all to consider becoming involved with the big R of Rotary, becoming involved with district, zone and international. It is a rewarding experience. Mark Humphries, District Governor, 2020-2021, Rotary International District 9820. That is my report, and I wish to table it. Thank you.